Hello, beautifuls. Today's perspective has to do with our thoughts, and in particular, in regards to relationships. I'm sure it's safe to say that each and every one of us has experienced, over the course of our journey here, at least one difficult relationship. And today I want to give a perspective on how we can take responsibility for our part within a relationship, be that a happy and healthy relationship or a difficult and maybe unhealthy relationship, that we have to be responsible for our part. I've talked many times before about the power of thought and how everything that we see in existence has become a thought, or came from a thought, pardon me, and how thoughts actually create things. Thoughts move energy. And keeping that perspective in mind, have you ever walked into a room and had the sensation that somebody was talking about you in that space? Well, what happens when you walk into a room with that feeling? Well, generally speaking, we become a little defensive, a little more on guard. And how is it that we knew we were being talked about? Well, as I've spoke many times before, we are all one. And yes, our bodies make it appear that we are separate, and that will be our experience if we choose to identify with our body. However, even if we identify with our body, we are still affected on the realm where we are all one, which is thought. And so that is why when somebody thinks about us or is talking about us, as speech is first preceded by thought, we feel it. So when we are in relationship with others, our very thoughts tend to create a response within the person we're in relationship with. And so the invitation today is to look at the relationships that we have. And today we're going to focus more on the ones that might be difficult or strained. And really ask yourself, what are my thoughts about this person? Before I even meet them, am I anticipating them to show up a certain way? Because if I am anticipating them to show up in whatever way that is, let's say it's harsh or judgmental, I am emitting that energy and actually facilitating a space for them to show up in that way. Or are my thoughts of them in the present moment? No judgment and comparison to how they have been in the past. Am I accepting them for the moment that is about to arrive? Am I thinking of them with loving thoughts? The invitation for each and every one of us is to do an experiment over, let's say, the next week, and look at relationships that are difficult or strained for you, and to, even if you are not interacting with these people during the week, but to send loving thoughts to them, to think loving thoughts about them. And if you are in interaction with them, watch how that might change or soften the way that they interact and engage with you. Because thoughts move energy. Thoughts create things. And so if we are stuck in a pattern of how somebody was to us at one point, our brain kind of becomes lazy and is on autopilot and continues to project those thoughts. And of course, if that is what we are projecting, that is exactly what we will see. Works just like a projector on a screen. I thank you so much for listening to this perspective. I understand that it is a new way of thinking. Usually it is 180 from what we have been taught and experiencing. But again, if we want to change our experiences, we need to change the way we think. Till we speak again, please be well.